Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of Sketchy Go Ichie. I'm your humble host, Roger Andrews, illustrator, designer, content creator. And the content I'm creating for you today is all about brand development. Essentially, it means how to create a visual that represents a client's product. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. I will show you how I do it and how you can take this process and apply it to your projects. So, stay tuned and enjoy. Okay guys, it's all about the brand. At least that's how it seems nowadays. And if you're wondering what I mean by brand, essentially it's, the identity that most companies have. It could be any number of things. It could be an icon, it could be a logo, it could be a mascot. But all of those things combined form sort of the audience's visual representation. Sometimes audio representation of a client's particular product. And let's face it, in commerce, everyone's trying to sell something. And it can't hurt if you have something that is identifiable, something that people can get their hooks into when they look at or are in the mood to buy or in the mood to consume something, whatever that product may be. So it's a brand. A brand is attached to it. A brand is exactly what you would imagine if you were in the cattle industry, where they brand their cattle. So you know that particular icon on the side of that beef is that particular rancher's brand, that particular rancher's product or livestock. Crude, I know, but it sort of applies to this. And you want to establish an identifiable brand. In order to do so, you, at least for me, in my line of work, you want to create visuals that can be associated with that brand. So as you can see here, I hope you guessed by now, it's for a barbershop. And first off, special shout out goes to my man Tony Coelho over at Flawless Cuts. Tony's a barber. I've known Tony for years. We played basketball together for years. Good buddy, good friend. And he actually turned me on to his boss and Mark over there at Flawless. And Mark's got a couple of barbershops in Fall River, Massachusetts. So if you need to get your hair cut, you know where to go. Anyways, I digress. So so Tony just put me on to these guys, and they were looking for, they already have an established brand. They have their logo designed. They've even done some work with characters. They've done some work with this sort of, the barbershop pole. I think they did some images around that. But what I was attempting to do here is give them sort of an identifiable sort of either mascot or iconic imagery that could be reflected and can be reused and could be ownable. When you hear the term ownable in my line of work, in design, graphic design, and illustration, it means essentially you've created a character or an image that is completely tied to the product and essentially owned by the product. For example, when you think of Geico, you think of the little gecko, right? Or you think of McDonald's, you think of Ronald McDonald's or whatever. There's a million of them. And that is a brand identity. And so if you notice here, I'm trying to essentially create a character, a single image character, almost kind of like, I say this over and over again, but I'd love to develop the next Hello Kitty. I don't know if it necessarily applies to, manly barbershop. But I wanted to create something that was sort of like their iconic image. Their, something that you'd see it on a t-shirt, or you see it on a pin, or you see it on a bag, or you see it something, you say, oh, that's the Flawless guy. As a matter of fact, I think Tony had come up with a name for the character. I don't recall what it was. Probably best I not say it so I don't blow it up for future usage. But so this is me kind of going in and exploring. The whole process to this, and if you want to kind of work this into your own workflow, is to explore, to take the name After having it, obviously you want to have a sit down with the client. In this case, Mark and Tony, and actually Alex was in the mix as well. Alex is a talented artist and barber over there at Flawless. And the three of us kind of kicked around some ideas, and they gave me a bunch of some really great feedback on what they were looking to do. And then, as an artist, you kind of go off and you sort of filter what they're looking to accomplish through your mental approach, and then you lay it down visually. So that's what I did with those series of characters, those sort of headshots that I was trying to create, that sort of flawless, iconic character in the mode of Hello Kitty, for lack of a better way to describe it. And here I was trying to mess with the barber pole. I was trying to think of clever ways of doing the barber pole. Now I was informed by actually all three of the guys, but Mark in particular, that kind of motif in the world of barbershops has kind of been done and redone, where you kind of utilize the barber pole as your iconic image. So I didn't want to do anything that was too generic. So that's why I'd come up with this idea of making it almost like this sort of cybernetic, walker type thing, with in the limbs were going to be scissors and the clippers and the shears. So that was that vibe. And then I thought of what would it be cool if I had this character that had this sort of biomechanical arm, and the parts on the arm, a la kind of Edward Scissorhands kind of thing. And I thought it'd be kind of cool if he was kind of really dynamic looking and he had this cybernetic arm. And so I gave it a shot. Pitched that, and didn't really fly. So I'd come up with another idea, and this is the process of doing brand development. It's kind of, you throw stuff up against the wall and see what sticks, and when it sticks, you know it. When it adheres, the stuff you're throwing up on the wall, you know it. Sometimes an iconic image could be the 50th image, or it could be the second. But you've got to go through the exploration process in order to get there. And so another concept I had come up with was, old school barbershops used to have, and then actually the new school ones probably still do as well, where you have like a poster up on the wall, and on that poster is a series of different hairstyles, different haircut styles you could get. And I thought it might be fun if I did sort of like fantasy characters or comic book-ish looking characters or aliens. And it was like their representation of their style, and you could select, I want to be like the alien from such and such, or the cyborg from something, or the hero or villain from something else. This is the hairstyle you were going for. And so that's what this was, just kind of a series of sketches to say, what if we had a poster where it was like all these different characters, but they were all sort of, really exotic, really sort of fantasyful. And I thought it might be a clever little idea. But again, just floating ideas. And brand development, to be honest with you, is just that. And there's no guarantee you come up with the correct idea. You allow your creativity to kind of flow, and sometimes things just catch fire. And also it's about doing different versions. Now I had come up with that sort of flawless character that you see on the thumbnail image, and then that you've also seen, hopefully you have seen it, I'm trying to think where else, but I may have shared it on Instagram or on Facebook when I was first developing these. So I thought a variation of it might be cool to have like a female version of it. I thought it might look cool and iconic on a t-shirt. But anyways, so flawless apparel, if you want to have flawless brand development, just keep working it and do a bunch of different ideas and then see what flies. And that is all there is to it. So, sketchy go ichie, live your moment. Happy sketching, y'all. Peace. Oh, by the way, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and please subscribe.